Okay, so this will be the continuation video of custom alert action. So now if you remember from my previous video, we talked about how to create this alert action UI, right? And we parked the Python script creation for this particular video. So in this video, we will cover that stuff over there. Okay, so we have to understand a couple of things here. So whatever we are input over here, right? We are giving that input over here. First we'll understand how Splunk send those inputs. So generally if you choose any other alert action, how they handle these inputs over there, you have to understand that one first. The second thing we'll understand is that's how this TMDB, that API works over there. Mainly the authentication part is a bit complex one, so it requires some discussion. So that's kind of like custom API related discussion, and I will do it because you will face similar kind of situation when we work with some other APIs. So that's why I thought I will just cover that one as well. Okay, so what I'll do first, we will go to our TMDB alert bin folder and we will open this tmdb.py file. Okay, so if you remember, we just gave a simple request string over there, imported. So we will now cover that one. So the first thing will be is we will have a main method, okay, which will do everything. So I will just make it as pass now. Okay, and okay, to see that, what I'll do is we will try to do it in code. It will be easier to handle the indentation and all, because Python is tmdb alert tmdb py. So that is what we will do now. Okay, so we'll just get rid of these changes. So we'll first create a main method over there. Okay, so we will pass it now. We'll first create the structure, then we will fill it up. Okay, so this is the way we generally call it, right? If underscore underscore name underscore underscore double equals to underscore underscore main, right? So main, then we will just call our main method over there. Okay, so it will be main. Okay, so in the main we will do everything over there. Now first we will try to see how Splunk send the payload, what is the payload structure and all. Okay, now if you see it over here, when you configure an alert, right? So now two things over here, either you can configure it to run it for once or for each result over there, right? Now accordingly Splunk sends the payload as well, right? If you just configuring it for run for once, that means Splunk will send a single result set over there, okay, to the alert. So generally I think it is the last row of the result set it sends, so that and it calls the script. Now for when you configure it for each result, that time what is happening is this search, right? Whatever search you are mentioning over here. Okay, where is that search? Okay, maybe, yeah, this is the search I just ran to save it as alert, right? So what if the search you are mentioning it over there for each and every search result? Okay, so it will call the script with all these details over there. Okay, so two things over here, the inputs and the data as well, because our intention over here is to the movie ID we will get from our search result, we will add it to our list. That means we have to get the movie ID from the search result as well. Okay, now when Splunk call this script, okay, the first thing it do is it calls with a -- execute command. Okay, and then it sends a payload over there. Okay, so let's do that one. So in the main, now we will do it like, we'll first check whether Splunk is calling the script with an execute or not. So that thing is part of the sys.argv, right? So we have to import the sys, import sys. Okay, so if length, so sys.argv is a array, right? So which will hold all the parameters, Splunk parameters, basically Splunk calling the script with. Okay, so sys.argv, if this one greater than 1, that means I am telling at least that this particular array is having some input and its first input is execute. Okay, sys.argv1, this is how we access the first input of this array, right? Array double equals to, so this is how Splunk calls it, dash dash execute. Okay, so we'll check first this one. So if this is there, then we'll try to see the payload over here. Okay, so this is how the payload works. Okay, now I do a json.load because the payload will be in JSON structure. And how I know that? Because if I go to tmdb alert default alert actions over here, okay, I have mentioned the payload format as JSON over here. That's why I'll be parsing it as a JSON as well. So I have to import the JSON over here. Okay, so now the payload Splunk sends as a standard input. So that means sys.stdin.read over there. Okay, so this is how we read the standard input in Splunk in Python. Okay, and now we have to see this payload, right, somehow. So we will create a logger method. Okay, so just to see like what is the payload structure, so we'll get a fair idea about how the payload works over there. Okay, I'll just create a simple logger. This is not the best way to do it, to create a logger, but I'll just do it now, just to make it work. I'll create separate videos for Splunk logging framework as well. Okay, so I'll just create a method called setup_logger over there. Okay, so there will be a logger over here. So now first thing we have to do is we have to import the logging framework. Okay, import logging, and we have to do import logging dot handlers. Okay. Now logger over here, it will be logging dot get logger. Okay, get logger, let's say any logger name you will give. Let's say tmdb _alert _logger over here. Okay, now logger dot get equals to false. Now this is required to prevent the log message from being duplicated in the Python log file, python.log file. Okay, so just do as it is, this one, because I'll be discussing this one extensively. That's why I'm not explaining it much. Okay, now logger dot set level equals to this input level, it will be. So now we will mention the file _change, where we will basically log our data. Okay, so it will be logging dot handlers. Okay, dot rotating file handlers. Okay, and now we have to give the path over here, right? So basically what I am planning to do over here is, if you see, all the Splunk logs are stored over here, right? Splunk for log Splunk directory, right? So here I will be creating a new directory called tmdb_alert.log. okay, so similar kind of stuff over here if you see. So or any new name, let's say I'll just provide a new name so that you can understand what is going on over there. Now for that, what I need to do is we have to tell the whole path over here. Okay, so I'll need the OS module as well to take the path. So first we will join with os.environment variable. Okay, so I have this environment variable set up, Splunk_home. Splunk_home, that means till this path, see program file Splunk it will be covering. So the we are giving this one because for Linux it will be different, for Windows it will be different, even like for different Linux version you can install in separate path itself in Splunk, right? So always it is go with the Splunk_home environment variable. Now to work with this one, you have to make sure that your this Splunk_home environment variable is set up, otherwise this is not going to work. Okay, so with that, what we will append is we'll append our var log Splunk directory. That means, so if I just take this guy over here, okay, so it will be /var/log/Splunk. okay, then I will just create an alert called tmdb_alert.log over there. Okay, so let's do with that. Now you can give some other settings over here as well, like max bytes. This is the maximum number of characters. Max byte, let's say we'll give a huge number over here, some huge number over here, and you can give backup count is equals to 5, let's say. Okay, so this is the backup count of the log over there. Okay, now the formatter, the logging formatter, we have to set it now. We'll create a new variable called formatter. Now logging dot formatter over here is the formatter. Logging dot formatter over here. So this is how the log will be printed in the file. So this is how the format is. So if I just show you this file over here, okay, so if you see the date, then some info, then something else, right? So this is how the log will be formatted over there. So here what we'll do is, inside quotes we'll say this one %sc time, okay, then percent, okay, the percent has to be outside of this one. Okay, now percent level name, and then let's say percent message. Okay, so this will be our log format, and then we have to set the format file_handler dot set formatter. Set formatter will be our this formatter, so that when the file will be written, it will be written in this format, correct? And then logger dot add handler is file handler. Okay, so and we'll just return the logger. We'll just return the logger over here. Okay, so now Now we'll just create a logger instance over there. So we'll be creating over here so that it will be available globally. Okay, hello logger equals to this setup logger. We'll just call, and we'll call it as logging dot info, let's say. Okay, so if you just don't know anything about logging, just don't worry, just follow me over here. We will understand in future videos why it is working and how it is working. Okay, so now if I just write a statement something like logger dot info, okay, info over there, and payload, okay, so it should print the payload in my file over there. Okay, so I'll just save it, and now what we'll do is we will create a alert now. Okay, so this is the time we will create a alert. Now we will go to our main index over there. Now last 24 hours we do not have. I think last 7 days I have some records. Okay, I have to go to TMDB index. Over there we have our movie informations. Okay, we have something. Okay, so we will just try to get two movie IDs to make it very simple. Okay, so ID equals to this to ID, let's say, so that we will not waste much time on this search. Save as alert. Okay, so we'll give it a title called new TMDB alert. Okay, and we'll be sharing in app so that this information will be shared in the TMDB app. We will run on cron schedule, right? Let's say it should run on every 2 minutes. So we'll just copy this cron schedule over there. Okay, so it will run every 2 minutes, and it will run for each result, let's say, because we need all these movie IDs as I explained before. So all these movies IDs has to be there in the payload, so that I can get the movie ID from the payload and just push it to our TMDB list. Now we will configure this alert, right? So it requires a list ID and all. So if I just go to our list, so this is our TMDB profile, right? And if I just go inside the TMDB list, if you see, this ID is showing up over here, right? So this is the list ID. Okay, so I'll just take the list ID over here. I'll keep the language as English. I'll give my API key over here. Okay, so I'll just give my API key over here. I'll be clicking on save over here. Okay, so now the schedule search will not run after Splunk. Okay, that's fine. View alert. So we have created an alert. So if I just go to settings, search and reports, and this is our alert showing up over here in the search app, right? So next run is 9:36, and this alert for each and every row, it is calling our tmdb.py script over there, right? And it should basically log this payload information, this payload to our this file tmdb_alert.log file, right? So the 9:36, let's wait for a couple of minutes and we'll see the log first, the payload first. Okay, so our 2 minutes is over. Let's try to see like whether it is logged anything or not over there. Okay, to see that, we will not go to our Splunk backend and see it. If you remember, for all the Splunk var log directory files, it will be indexed into _internal index, right? So we'll see it from the Splunk itself. So we'll say index equals to _internal, and the source of that log file will be, we have given the name of this log file as tmdb_alert, right? So we will just say star tmdb_alert star. So for last 24 hours it did not print anything. So let us see what's going on over there. Okay, so we will see source as Splunk D. Okay, and we will just see in Splunk D log anything is printed over there or not. Okay, So now if you see it over here on 938 also 939, that it is returning some error code over there. Okay, and what is the error over there? Attribute logger object has no attribute set label. Oh, okay, if you see the spelling is incorrect over here, right? So I will just try to set label. Okay, I have given an extra T, so I'll just correct that one. Run as admin. Okay, so this is done. So now let's see when next time this alert is running, so that we can check it out. It is working properly or not. So 9:42, another 1 minute. We'll wait for 1 minute and come back. Okay, we waited more than 1 minute. Let us see in our log whether it is coming or not. We'll just go to index equals to underscore internal and then source equals to, source equals to, we'll say tmdb underscore alert, right? Star. Okay, so if you see it over here, that alert actually ran twice already. Okay, it is almost 9:45. So if you see it over here, it printed this payload over here, right? So let us now try to analyze this payload over here. I'll just copy it to a notepad. Okay, now if you see in the payload, there are a lot of interesting stuff Splunk is sending. First thing is, it is sending who is the owner. Okay, here I am logged in as an admin, or basically the owner of this alert. Okay, what is the session key over here? This is really important if you want to use any kind of authentication inside this alert. Okay, alert script to authentic or to run some Splunk endpoint, to authenticate some endpoint and run it, you need this session key over there. Okay, the SID of the search it ran. Okay, now the search URI, the result, if you see it over here, this is the result of the search over here. If you see, there are movie IDs like this IDs 580625, and there should be another ID as well. Okay, so we just took one log, because each and every log will be for different IDs over there. So if you see over here, if I just see the ID, it should be different. Okay, if you see, this is different, 570480 over there. Okay, so this actually tells us like Splunk is calling this script again and again for each and every row, because we have configured for each result over here. And if you see, so there is a settings called configuration should be. Okay, and if you see all the inputs like list ID, API key, server, the search name, everything has been sent by Splunk. Now if we need something, we will just query it from here, right? So we will now build our Python script. We will go ahead and build our Python script now. Okay, or let us park it for the next video, so that we will not make this video very long. Okay, see you in next video.